Hey guys, it's me, Skeleton again, and today we are back with another live stream. Oh. But today we are just playing goofing off again. Like how we did last night. No, smoking, stop. Okay, so you know how do you cut short? Okay, you got here really fast. And what do you need help with? I would be making that face too, but I cannot do that in real life, which really is really sucky. We should totally be able to make real faces, like the type you can do on screens, because that'd be so cool. Let's imagine that. Like your friend's saying something funny and then all of a sudden you die, Gracie. Why are you gonna die? Cub, why are you gonna die? Yes, I listened to Epic Rap Battles. Oh, sweet Big Cat Rescue. It's Big Cat Rescue. If you guys don't know, it's like it's so loud for me because it's just Big Cat. I don't know. I really don't know how you get as amazing as me. And I'm not amazing. I have a very small channel, I can tell. Well, in
May of 2007, we
hang on, let me pause this. 90% of my friends from my old school and my online friends have over 100 subscribers, and I only have 50. Yeah, it's crazy.
Rescued 4 tigers from a breeding facility in Florida called Savage Kingdom. Savage Kingdom had a long history of big cat escapes and attacks that resulted in injuries and deaths for both humans and cats.
Aww.
These were documented in an episode of Animal Planet's Fatal Attractions featuring Big Cat Rescue. The facility was finally closed by the USDA in 2006, ending the breeding and abuse.
Might have some graphic content.
Monik, a female tiger who was 14 years old at the time, was one of the cats we rescued that day.
Aww.
Facilities like Savage Kingdom breed their tigers continuously, so they can sell the cubs to be used for petting sessions and as photo props.
Oh, poor baby.
In the wild, tigers give birth to cubs every 2 to 3 years, but in backyard breeding facilities like Savage Kingdom, the tigers are bred 2 to 3 times per year, so they have a constant supply of new cubs to sell and exploit. This, of course, takes a physical and emotional toll on the mother tigers like Monik. Monik settled in well to life at the sanctuary. The other tigers we rescued from Savage Kingdom were TJ, Bella, and Monik's sister Trusha, who we unfortunately lost to cancer in 2009.
Oh, poor baby.
Monik often greets her keepers with a chuff, and she lives in the outback section of the Big Cat Rescue next to Flavio and the 3 tigers we rescued from Texas, Andre, Arthur, and Amanda. In 2011, keepers noticed that Monik had an ingrown claw.
What?
We managed to verify this using operant conditioning. This allows us to observe our cats up close from different angles on a daily basis. With Monik sedated, we were able to treat her ingrown claw, trim the rest of her claws, and at the same time, local eye specialist Dr. Miller evaluated and measured Monik's lenses to use as a model for lens replacement for tigers with cataracts. This is pretty common in tigers who may have a genetic predisposition or may have had poor nutrition as cubs. They can get high blood pressure, they can get cataracts, they can get uveitis and lens luxations, and all those things are can be painful. And so one of the things I'm checking for is to make sure that she doesn't have any of those things. And so far she doesn't. And then the ultrasound that I'm doing is just to look and see the size of her lens. So I'm measuring the size of her lens in the adult tiger, because a lot of young tigers, when they're hand raised, they actually develop nutritional cataracts, and because of that we end up having to take their lenses out, and we're trying to figure out what size lens, a man-made lens, we can put back in. We performed a physical on Modnick and discovered mammary tumors. We took samples to be tested, and unfortunately they turned out to be cancerous. While we were deciding the best plan of action for Modnick, Keeper spotted a mass protruding from under her tail. We decided to schedule Modnick for surgery. Unlike the relatively simple procedure that we had performed in her enclosure, this major surgery required a powerful X-ray machine to see exactly how far her tumors had spread, and obviously a sterile environment if we were to proceed with the removal of the tumors. So for the first time, we transported a tiger from the sanctuary to a veterinary clinic for a surgical procedure. Once we arrived, we had to sedate Modnick. I distracted her at the front of the transport cage while Jamie injected her with the drugs. You may not have noticed then, but if we rewind the clip and play it again, you see that Modnick's reaction to being injected forced the pole syringe handle into Jamie's neck, leaving her with a memento of the day. We waited for the drugs to take effect, and then transported her inside. X-rays were first on the list. Thankfully, they showed that the cancer hadn't spread, so removing the tumors would lessen the chance of it spreading in the future. We then transferred her to the surgery room. The mass protruding from her vaginal area was removed. We ran tests on the tissue and found that it was a polyp, which is an abnormal growth of tissue projecting from a mucous membrane. For this video, we spoke to a reproduction specialist and found that polyps are more common in dogs than cats, and no one really knows why this happens. It may be due to the constant breeding that Modnick had to endure, but old age seems to be the most common factor, and surgical removal is curative. Modnick was then prepped, the tumors were removed, and the surgery was a success. When the sanctuary's volunteer vet, Dr. Liz Wynn, isn't performing the surgery herself, she's always assisting with the procedure to help veterinarians who are more used to dealing with domestic animals. The area was thoroughly cleaned, and we then loaded Modnick back into the transport cage, the trailer, and then returned to the sanctuary. She spent 2 weeks in our quarantine area before being moved back out to her enclosure. Modnick's receiving daily meds, she's eating well, and she's receiving lots of attention. We're so thankful that because of our supporters, we can continue to provide the best care for our cats. Many of them start life in bad situations, but once they're at Big Cat Rescue, we try to make them as comfortable as possible. Rescue, we try to make them as comfortable as possible.
Alright, I know a really good channel. Some of you might know it. Jacob. This stuff is like really funny. Seriously, this is so far my favorite episode.
Kitty, guess what it's time for?
Wet food?
Not dry food. Sylvester, don't you remember what we talked about last week?
No.
You're not getting wet food until we find Gibbyson. We talked about this. You said you didn't even have a problem with it.
I did?
So what, now you're just gonna mope around on the couch and be mad at me? Sylvester, you could have avoided this whole situation by just telling me where Gibbyson is.
Fuck off.
Oh, so that's how it's gonna be, huh? Do you realize Random Kitty doesn't even know about this yet? So yeah, things are going right lately, Except for the fact that Gibby's son is still missing, Sylvester's acting like absolutely nothing is wrong. Random Kitty thinks that her son's taking a 2-week nap on top of the refrigerator. The only problem is actually a blanket. And I have to break the news to Random Kitty that her son is missing. He's not on the fridge. He's actually missing. Well, I told Random Kitty, but she did not take it well. No, it's not cool, Sylvester. She's freaking miserable. I don't care. Sylvester, are you kidding me? I just had to tell a mother that her son is missing, and she is completely panicked right now. So you're telling me you have no empathy? No. Sylvester, oh my god, you are a bad kitty. Seriously, come on. What is wrong with you? I'm gonna go check on Random. Hey, Random Kitty, are you okay? Random, are you having a panic attack? Random Kitty, calm down. Oh my god, Sylvester, Random Kitty is freaking out. Like bad. No, it's not good, Sylvester. Would it hurt your feelings if I told her this whole thing's your fault? No. Alright, fine. Random Kitty, just relax. Hey, I need you to chill so we can talk, Kitty. Hey, I don't want you to end up catatonic. Listen, we're gonna find your son. Maybe I should have just not told her. But no, she needs to know the truth. Okay, so I know we're all frustrated about Gibby's son missing, at least 2 of us are, but Random Kitty, come here, you're gonna want to hear this. I have reason to suspect that Sylvester is actually the reason behind your son's missing, so we're, no violence, I have a plan, Kitty's just gonna be okay. Aren't you at least a little curious about the plan? What is that? Shelby girl. Yeah, she's gonna step out Gibby's son. Good luck. Thanks, I hope we find him. You will. Oh, whatever. Alright, Shelby girl, are you ready? Let's go find Gibby's son. Come on, girl, let's go. Just follow me now, Shelby girl. I'll go wherever you... Oh, you wanna go over here? Okay. Alright, cool.
Dear Diary, October 2.0. My stupid slave left with the stupid dog to locate an equally stupid cat. I honestly hope they all get lost in the forest and die forever. The end. Wait, who's gonna feed me and shovel up my tuna truffles? Edit. I hope my slave comes back alone with wet food. The end.
I don't know about this, Shelby girl. Are you sure? Are you sure Gibby's son's this way? It seems a little out of the way. Alright, this is kind of creeping me out, Shelby girl. I don't know. No, I'll give up. I'm turning around. Come on, Shelby girl. Let's go back home. This is ridiculous. We're gonna get lost. 26 miles, Shelby girl. I swear you weren't even looking for Gibby's son. I mean, look, the sun's already down. Jeez. I hope he shows up. Gibby's son? Is that you? Kitty, oh my god. We've been looking for you forever. Where have you been, Kitty? Oh, I'm so glad you're safe. Why don't you go inside and get comfortable? Okay, so yeah, that looks pretty comfortable. You look extremely comfortable. I'm so glad you're home, Kitty. That's crazy. Gibby's son was just right outside the whole time. He was just... Wait, you knew?
Yeah.
Sylvester, I followed the dog for 26 miles.
Damn.
Remember our wet food deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the deal's off.
What?
You're grounded, Kitty.
No.
You should have told me where he was.
Kay.
What do you mean, Kay? You never told me where he was.
Outside.
Too late. Random Kitty, aren't you glad your son's home?
Yeah.
Me too. I missed him. But, you know, he stinks a little bit since he's been outside. So, oh, nice. You're such a good mom. So you say you got the dog trained? Let's see what you can do, Kitty.
Sit.
Aw, you can do better than that. Can you make her do some tricks or something?
No.
Oh, come on. Oh, Kitty, she's getting up. Holy crap. Wow. She listens to you better than she does to me. Damn.
So you never know. You might know some mermaids and not even know it. How cool is that? Mermaid crowns. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this is an old headband, a piece of felt, a glue gun. If you haven't ever used a glue gun before, you make sure...
I have used a glue gun.
So that's what it's gonna
Okay, he's still here. Okay. Is this his name? I'm gonna put up the camera. Just lag. Oop. Bro. Back. Back. Right. And then have what's going on? I don't want to be my friend. Be my friend.